Behave.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Ina.
Ikaw din. Joke.
Damn it! It's that equivalent to like mom says stop, and I'm like, ha ha, ikaw rin.
I mean, your mom didn't tell me to stop last night.
Wow. And
It's na kayo.
I'm give that one a pass. That was really good timing, you fuck.
That was
really good timing.
That was amazing.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Geeks and Degenerates. We'll continue our Asian-centric role with a classic, Mulan.
Woo!
What?
Don't worry
What?
about him.
Turning Red and Mulan and the upcoming movie makes sense, you know? It's a good pair.
Okay. Go.
Yeah.
There's a pattern. I see.
Yeah.
Wait, red too. So like, hey, lucky colors.
Oh.
Do you remember when you first watched this movie?
Yes, I do.
You guys
I
watch
was-
it in cinema?
Yeah, I did. I watched it in Uniwide when Uniwide was not like a changge. I remember it was my very first cinema movie.
Mm.
Too. That's why it was super memorable for me.
How about you, Seb?
What year did this come out, Enzo?
1998.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is probably the time that we watch things all the time in Robinson Cinema. Fun fact, in Robinson Cinema, if you come in halfway through the movie, you can just watch the next screening for free.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't stop you. They'll just like allow you to stay for as long as you want.
Wait. They're like, hey, you're 15 or like, sorry, you're 1 hour and 15 minutes late to this movie. Go in and just wait for it to come on next.
Yes. This is no cap what happened when I watched Star Wars 1. Like we missed 30 minutes of the movie, we watched the thing through, and then we watched the start, and then yeah. So it was an early cinema experience. I was like 1998, right?
Yeah.
I was like 4.
4.
So it was a good cinema experience. I think I had a thing for the Han guy. I think he was cool.
I mean, yeah, you're a
I
beefy
think
boy.
I think Shang was cool too. But I was too stupid to really understand this stuff. I wasn't a very smart kid. But like songs were nice.
Yeah.
For sure. And one of the Disney movies I didn't hate. Even when I was a kid, I wasn't too fond of Disney stuff.
Hmm.
Well,
One
I
of
mean,
the few
it did,
moments.
like it did revolve around the war, so I guess that was a cool thing. I was like, oh, Disney doesn't do this.
I like the
Yeah.
dragon missiles too. I thought the dragon missiles were dope. I was
Why
like,
don't we do that today?
I want a dragon missile.
Red?
Yeah. Well, came out 1998, and I think I just got out of the womb, so like, I don't think I saw it in theaters. I think I saw it once I started hitting, this Disney Channel. Like every time they had like a 9 p.m. movie thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They'd have those.
Yeah, every weekday they would always show was also a
An
Disney
original
movie.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that time.
Yeah,
Good
same
times.
here.
Times.
And like, yeah. To be honest, yeah, all the messages went over my head. I was like, no, she's just a lady who went to war. I didn't know how big of a deal that was back in ancient China.
I
Yeah.
understood the main theme. Like I understood like even at 4 I was like I understand that she's trying to save her father from having to go through this war because he's obviously injured. Like I didn't know the gravity of a woman doing this. Like, to me, it's like,
Yeah, same here. It was like, yeah, go to war. You're a princess, right? Yeah, that people said she was a princess. She's not a princess.
no, it didn't hit me like that. It was just like you want to save you want to keep your father safe. You're gonna go into the war.
Yeah.
I didn't really know the gravity of her being a woman going to the war. So I was just like, yeah, people go to war. It's cool.
Yeah, and like, for me,
Sexism
like,
is a learned trait, guys.
no, but like, when I first watched this, when I was a kid, when I saw this, and people would be like, "Oh, girls don't go to war and stuff like that. I was like, it always bogged my mind. Like, why did Mulan go to war? Like, that was always my like go-to thought every time somebody says, "Oh no, girls can't be sold," or "They can't do this." I was like, "No, I did." So I was like, I'm kind of happy I saw this movie.
There are female characters in war games.
Exactly. No, but mostly like around that time it was more male focused. Yeah.
I don't think I watched this in theaters. I watched it mainly on VCDs. This and probably the VCD of Disney's Dinosaur, that weird 3D animated movie.
Hey, that was gold.
Yeah,
Which
I
one?
remember Dinosaur by Disney.
Yeah, I had the
Yeah,
book
that
of
was
it.
dope. That was
Yeah.
dope.
And like Jomar, like the deeper themes just flew over my head. Like, oh, it took me a long time to be like, oh, she's breaking the stereotypical role that was beset for men and women in ancient China. But like back then, like, I like the dragon, I like the songs, and that's about it. And as time progressed, I'm like, man, this movie has a lot to say. And in terms of diversity, it's very important that Disney does a better job at this than they did with Pocahontas, I would say.
Oh god.
People are friends.
Funny
Don't
enough, I've never watched Pocahontas.
You don't have to.
It'll frustrate you.
Yeah.
I mean, paano ba? Like, yeah, 1995 si Pocahontas. Si Mulan, like for me, as the girl in this group right now,
Yeah.
I liked it because, like, apart from Belle, like Beauty and the Beast Belle, she's the first one that wasn't a stereotypical princess. Like, literally, the first scene is her fumbling around. And, like,
Her cheating on her, like,
Yeah,
like
she was
her
the most
wife has-
relatable character as a kid. And I was a very boyish girl, I guess. So it was really refreshing to see that, like, I guess she did bring about that representation. Yeah, I am in a stereotypical, I'm in a patriarchal society. Even as a little kid at that time, na parang, yeah, I want to be able to do these things too. I want to be able to play with swords. I don't always want to wear skirts and look pretty. I want to get dirty, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, this was like a very eye-opening, I guess empowering, even before I knew the word even before I knew what the word empowering was. Yeah.
The scene that always gets me still is when she's with the matchmaker and she tries to put out the fire, and somehow it gets worse. I'm like, how? Did you douse your fan in gasoline? How is this working? But it's still funny.
Yeah.
fans were made out of paper back in the day, man.
Yeah.
What's gonna light on fire?
It makes sense where the fan lights on fire, but why does she have more fire by the time it ends? But it is
The
fun.
more you, the
Ink
more
spill or
you,
something?
it could be.
I mean, I got a tub of ink. I'll see if I can light down fire.
Okay.
And then, alright.
No, but
Initially
like-
it's shock. It's like,
But then
Okay, do it.
sometimes the more you fan, the more you,
Yeah, more oxygen, more fire.
yeah, more oxygen, more fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after she's rejected by the matchmaker, the Emperor's soldiers come to conscript every guy from the family, and she tries to stop her father from volunteering
Enlisting.
to the army. Enlisting. to the army.
Enlisting.
And again, this thing just passed over my head. I was like, nah, that's right. She's younger. She's more, mobile. She should go to war.
Yeah.
And then it finally hit me. It finally hit me what the dad said, where he was like, "She'll probably die if she goes out there. If we reveal her, she'll die anyway." I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
China was a bitch when it came to to the females.
I really appreciate how they. Oh. Okay.
Carry on, Ina.
Were you gonna say something, Sam?
no, because it's like he's like China was a bitch when it came to females, and I was like, was?
I do appreciate in Mulan, I guess just like Beauty and the Beast, like the first few songs, they already established what kind of person Mulan is, and she's not the stereotypical female. Like in the first song pa lang, when she's going to the matchmaker, they really established that she's not like hindi siya yung I just want to be beautiful, I just want to serve the guys, but
Yeah.
you know, for potential to look for a potential husband. Like they showed her intellect, they showed her compassion.
Yeah.
And then they also showed they also showed how she was very undermined by a lot of people. She was undermined by the crowd, the matchmaker, and then it messed with me when even the dad was like, you bring dishonor to the family, because she was just trying to to have his back, and the point that even the grandma, who at the start of the movie you can already tell she's very feisty.
She's a supportive parent figure.
Yeah, the fact that even she was quiet when this was all happening, you can tell that the whole ranking, I guess, of how the code of honor was very strong in this, and it was a very nice setup to the. It was a very nice setup to the story and the. What do you call that? Oh my gosh, my brain.
Okay.
It was just a nice setup to the movie. Like, they already, even as a kid, you can understand the narrative. Like, oh, that's
It set the tone.
it set the tone really quick, which I appreciated.
Alright.
And then yun nga, going back to your thing where yun nga, when she's fucked either way, if she gets caught or if they try to go back for her, she's fucked. It's one of the first few Disney movies, I guess, apart from Lion King, that really, I guess it flew over my head, but like, dude, Mulan could have died. Like, the stakes were high, even for like, as a kid, you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
And also keep in mind that these were the fucking Huns. Like, these were the guys that made bow and arrows a thing. Wait,
I do.
but yeah.
I also do appreciate how the Huns, they're the other group of people that, in comparison to like say the Emperor or the Shang at the time, they're the only ones who like didn't call Mulan like a he or a she. He just called Mulan a soldier. Kasi even
the soldier
the Huns kasi their soldiers are also women. Like, it wasn't depicted in the cartoon, but the women were very prominent. Women. They're very prominent in the army as well. They were treated equally.
Actually, an interesting historical fact. Like, in theory, if the Huns had it pan out, like, they were bloody, but what empire wasn't?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, they were actually one of the only societies to actually hold women in high regard. A lot of ancient societies that held women in high regard, like, a lot of them have been forgotten with time. But the Mayans and the Huns, these guys knew what women were about and held them in high regard, sometimes more than men.
Mm-hmm.
And
Especially with our country. Before the Spaniards took over.
Yeah.
Our country was like that.
Yeah.
How things have changed. But like, it's just funny how like most of these societies that had the sense of equality and respect for the opposite sex, almost to the point of actually having them in higher regard to men, how most of these societies have been wiped out and considered savage and mindlessly violent. Like, y'all just gotta ruin everything for everybody, huh?
Oh, speaking of mindlessly violent, like, I was thinking about it, like, even like a little bit before the podcast, how what's the name of the bad guy? Shan Yu. Thank you. Shan Yu. Like, I guess when you're watching it as a kid, he seems like a typical bad guy. Like, he's just there to take over China.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I get that it's also a sense of pride in Shan Yu to be able to defeat him, but I just realized how he's mostly just there to take a fucking challenge.
Yeah.
Like when he said na ano yun, the emperor will destroy me. He invited me.
Oh yeah, once
then,
you build his walls.
Yeah, and then like for him to, he basically took that route, the snowy route, because it's the most straightforward way to go there.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow, like, sure, that's just the straightforward way. They could have gone any other route. But after that, they were able to stealth their way into the Emperor's palace. Meaning, they could have easily done it that way, but they just go, "Nah, fam, I wanna prove a
no.
fucking point."
They got it up.
So what you're saying is the Huns were right. They should have they should have just wiped China, bro. Like Mulan should have switched sides. Like these guys would respect me. Like Shan, you picked up a sword, he didn't even go like a Huaman? No, he's just like, oh motherfucker, let's go. Like that's the right society for Mulan to be in. What I'm trying to say is the Huns were right.
The Huns were
Oh,
right.
I mean, for my end, I just wanted to say na parang Shan Yu wasn't like one. Ano yun?
One-dimensional character.
Yeah, one-dimensional character. Like he was just there to fuck with everyone.
I'll fuck you all up equally.
Yeah.
Dude, you're making me love this character so much more than I previously did.
I'm not gonna lie, like this man was Mongolian Batman. Man was like hiding with the gargoyles. I was like,
He was
damn.
gray for no reason.
Yeah. I was like,
Still don't
holy
understand
shit.
that.
Was this golden eyes as well? I'm like, shit, that's kind of cool.
But yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
as Mulan's going to war, we also meet Mushu for the first time, we
Yes.
meet him through the main guardian, who's voiced by George Takei. Like, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh my.
oh my.
Oh my.
And he's like, I can do the job. He's like, please, you decapitated someone in your last job. Get the proper guardian.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
That also went over my head. I was like, except for the sword that went through his. But like,
He later decapitates the other dragon too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That was a guardian who had life.
yeah, that went over my head as a kid too. I'm like, just stone. Now it's like, oh god, he totally murdered him.
Actually, I understood that. I was like, damn. Like I'm a kid and I just wanted to see scary things. I was like, damn, I would have liked to see that dragon. Like that was like
Same here.
that was my thing.
I mean, I think that was the point, right?
Oh, wasn't that like the boring route where he's like, Mulan, go back. You can't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, like my thing is just like, if you need a comedy relief humanoid animal, just bring Eddie Murphy in.
And they did.
Like they were like, he worked with Mulan. Let's make him a donkey.
What a hold!
He found a
Please.
niche.
Be
It's
the
all I want.
sidekick, the funny
It's
sidekick.
all I want to see Eddie Murphy do for the rest of his career if he decides to revive it. Like just come in as animal sidekicks all the time.
Yeah. I love the scene when Shank's like, what's your name? And Mushu's giving out all these suggestions like, Chu? He's like, Chu. What the fuck is that supposed to be?
Yeah.
He's like, Mushu. No, how about Peng? He was my friend, although he did steal my girl or something like that.
Yeah.
Nagalit lang si Shang. What is it? I love Mushu's attempts on making Mulan a stereotypical man. Like he couldn't be any more mistaken.
Punch him. Guys like that.
Slap him in the
That's not his
ass.
ass. That's how we greet each other.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love how
kinda.
Mushu's technically male but has no idea like what male social cues are.
Yeah.
I guess he's a dragon.
Yeah, he is a dragon, so we can't really say.
He's a girl Sorry. I'm
Uh,
crossing this over with Shrek by accident now.
and it's through Yao that we get the first challenge from Shang to climb this pole with these two weights on you, and that's where our favorite song begins from this movie.
Oh, hell yeah. Be a man.
Yeah. Like, if you look at any other song by Disney, this has the most views, I think. If I'm not mistaken. For good reason.
It's one of the best
I-
ensemble songs.
Isn't it either Let It Go or we don't talk about Bruno?
Right
to my
now.
knowledge.
Right.
We don't talk about Bruno's getting there. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's starting to creep up on Let It Go.
Yeah.
Actually, it surpassed it na.
Oh, fuck. Well, I say it's a
Yeah.
better song.
But yeah, this song is just...
I'd
every
say
time-
anything from Frozen is shit, but like, go on.
I mean, this is a song we mostly sing at karaoke too, so that's a testament to how good this song
We've
is.
done it at every session,
Yes.
every
Man,
single
Adam.
session.
This and I Won't Say I'm in Love from Hercules. It's like the two most
Yeah.
Disney songs you play.
I love that song.
That song's fucking sick.
It is.
I mean, that was my first Disney crush. That was shit. Meg hack.
There you go.
Anyway, we're not talking about that.
Yeah, we're talking about Mulan.
And-
You know what? No, what also like in my brain now thinking about it. These guys, like, for us, we're watching the film fully knowing Mulan's a girl. You're like, oh my god, they're bullying a girl. But like, watching it again, it's like, no, these motherfuckers have a target on Ping's back, fully thinking that Ping is a man.
Mm-hmm.
And yet somehow Ping was able to outdo most of them, like from sheer determination and wonder respect. So it was no, like it just boggles me. Like
Yeah, and then once they get to the song of like "Girl We're Fighting For,"
yeah,
even though they are teasing her,
yeah,
there is camaraderie like behind it. It's
yeah, Opa.
just guys busting
Very,
balls.
it's very military.
Mm.
Like if there's anything super accurate about like how the depictions of anything there, it's military because like these guys are your brothers and you'll have their backs in the battlefield no matter what. But that doesn't mean that you guys get along, like
Yeah.
or got along historically during training or whatever. But by the time shit hits the fan, they're your brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like as a kid, when Mulan's taking a bath in the river, Mushi's like, there are things that I know they'll notice. As a kid, I'm like, is it the hair? Is it because he has long hair?
It's over here. I think it might be the voice.
The hair, the voice, and now as an adult, it's like, oh, boobs. Okay, sure.
You have a sister and a mother.
Yeah, but as a
Like
kid,
even I knew it would be boobs. I was like 4 and I knew it would be
They had so many dick jokes in that one scene. I'm Yao, king of the rock. Or the if I see one more naked man, they all just run faster. Oh my god! And the assistant, you owe me a new pair of slippers, and I do not call you like a girl.
I hated that guy so much.
Yeah, but you know, he's voiced by the duck from Kung Fu Panda too, which I love.
You know that guy keeps on
Oh,
making
what?
me think about that dude from Boba Fett. The guy who
the mayor.
who sounded like Woody Harrelson and also acted like Owen Wilson at
That's
the same
him?
time.
The assistant.
No,
to the
I mean
mayor?
like I'm the same level of annoyed.
Oh.
Yeah, the
Oh.
assistant mayor.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hated that character so much in Mulan. He was the one that was like, if Shan Yu's gonna kill one of them, I beg you let it be him. Like, there's one character death we can definitely avoid. Like, afford. It's this one, please kill him.
Yeah, nah, he was a somewhat comedic relief of the army, but we're like, nah, he's just annoying, sad.
I love how he doesn't question the guy on a panda mount. You're like, yeah, that seems like a new unit we use.
Never seen a black and white before.
Yeah. And then we go to our girl worth fighting for until like this whole transition is kind of jarring, but in a good way where they're still singing and then they see the village just wiped out. Like, oh, that's pretty good.
And they
What
show
a
dead bodies.
great scene. Such a great fucking scene. Cause like, you have so much levity in all of it. You kind of forget what's happening. And why they're all here. You get the training montage, you see people messing up, then you see them slowly getting into the front lines. And seeing why they're doing this and why so many of them didn't have a choice because this is what's happening to their homes. And the way it was all like, the way it was rendered, the way it was colored, the
Yeah.
contrast from where they were to where they're at now was a not so subtle but really well done transition into where they're at in the story. It's one of my favorite scenes in any animated Disney movie.
And then like it's crazy how they wouldn't have gotten there if Mushu didn't make that letter up.
Yeah.
That's true. A lot of these things would have not gone forward without their plot, which is
And
an
it-
issue.
And it also kind of pushes Shang as a character further.
No, that's that, right?
Yes, that was his no. Shang's father was ano yun? He even had a quote, diba? Like he comes from a good war family lineage.
Yeah.
So he like I get in a way, I don't wanna say this movie is partly about daddy issues. but not daddy issues, but they want to make their parents proud. And now Shang can't necessarily do that.
The typical
Other-
Asian child.
Yeah, typical Asian child. And dude, the part where Mulan finds the doll,
Mm.
the doll the Huns had,
Mm.
sent the fucking message.
Yeah.
Everybody dead.
Everybody
Or
did.
evacuated. Either one.
Going
I'm
back.
sorry, but when you guys were talking about like Asian parents not being fond, like proud of their children, I was just thinking of Shang's dad going like, "You become doctor or engineer," then he becomes a soldier. You failure.
You bet. But the dad was a soldier too, though.
Yeah,
You're
but that was
so
happy.
You not general yet. You captain. Hiya.
Going back to Mushu moving the plot forward, I don't know how
Bonjour. Sorry.
he sets up those fireworks. Like, did you sneeze on them?
That was the thing too. I'm like, thank God in this movie the good side didn't have a good side. Didn't have a casualty at their end. Because if there was, that's on Mushu.
Right?
At that time, yeah.
Dude, is this the one in the snowy mountains now?
Yeah, I mean, Mulan may not be a Disney princess, but she more than makes up for it in her body count. Like, oh, okay.
And not a lot of princesses have a body count.
Yeah.
Dude, Mulan has a higher kill rate than about 90%, if
Of
not
the Chinese
100,
army.
of anyone in a Disney movie.
Yeah.
No one has a bigger body count than her, I think, in
Mulan.
any Disney movie. And dude, she toothpasted Mushu to light up the. She's like, it was a funny fucking scene.
Look, okay. I get that people will say that, oh, this is not accurate to the actual story of Mulan. The
Are
one
you
written in the
fucking
book.
with me? She has a magical giant dragon guardian. Of course, it's not accurate to real life.
No, you get what I mean when it came to like, oh, I mean, I don't know if the story of Mulan is real or is that just
I think that's
Well-
just legend.
legend. Yeah,
I'm not sure.
but like in those stories that I remember, some would say that she was never found out as a woman. She just kept going with the whole.
She was found out. She outed herself once the war. Alam ko, if I correct me if I'm wrong in the comments or something.
Yeah.
So alam ko she basically outed herself once the war was done.
There was multiple endings I remember here.
Yeah, there was a
that-
version where they found out but they didn't mind anyways.
there
Kasi,
was one where they found out and executed her.
yeah. And then another thing is I think Mulan. There's a version where Mulan. So umpisa pa lang ng story. She's already known as a very athletic, good warrior person. So not compared to this Mulan na sobrang, I guess, noob.
No, but I mean,
She
it
needs
was
to learn.
character.
Yeah.
Isn't that Disney's thing in general? Like, we'll make a better ending than the original sometimes. Like, what happened to the actual Little Mermaid? Oh, okay.
Right.
Shh, let's not talk about it.
I mean, anything is better than the Grimm's version.
Right.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
Snow White pa lang, man.
Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, a lot of it is just much
Cinderella.
better than the
Ugh.
Grimm's version.
Yeah. I do love the scene of, you miss, how could you miss? He was 3 feet in front of you. Like, that's pretty good.
Me in Fortnite.
No, that's me in Valo.
I mean, it
In
is.
general.
I mean, would you guys have shot for Shan Yu in front of you, or would you have done the same as Mulan?
Man, it would have been a badass scene though to just rocket launcher somebody right in the face.
I do not think I'm the right person to ask.
Why not? Oh,
I
you.
mean, if it were up to me, I'd go for the missile, then just hand-to-hand Shan Yu till death. Like, if we gotta go now, then we gotta go, but everyone's dying.
Mm.
You do not want me in war. Is what I'm trying to say.
I.
Yeah. And then she rescues Shang and the rest of her companions from the avalanche.
Oh, can we just talk about that scene where everyone's like trying to pull Mulan and Shang, and then here comes Chen Po. He just hugs everyone.
Yeah,
and just
Chimpo puts
yeah.
the Seb and it's like carries us. Like, you have not been able to carry that.
Chen Po
Baymax.
giant.
Yeah.
See Baymax.
Oh, yeah, he's so
Baymax.
adorable.
He's basically Baymax. He's
Yeah.
like flesh
Ginger.
Baymax.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Shang's like, you have my trust now, but like, before they can celebrate, she starts bleeding out from the cut she got from Shen Yu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget the little sexual tension that they've had.
Yes.
with him and Pei. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I think Shang is also one of those characters where you're like,
Shang Bai? Question mark.
yeah, Shang Bai? Shang Bai?
Or like when Ping like kicks him in the chin, he was like, damn.
Ooh.
Damn. Should be the title of this video. Shang Bai? Question mark.
I mean, yeah.
And
I mean, if he's not, then they're just lying to you.
Two bros.
Two bros in a hot tub, 5 feet apart, because they're not gay.
But then, yeah. Go lang, Enzo.
when she's found out, this is a testament to how innocent my mind was when I first watched it. Because when she's found out, I was like, it is the hair. And now, of course, as an adult, I'm like, oh, of course.
Conclusion: when Shang had hair of the same length.
No!
I forgot how confused I was back then. And then the
It's
film-
fine.
That's
It really just blows my mind as a man in a family with women that you couldn't figure this out. But it's cool. It's cool. It happens. I'm cool. Whew. We're good.
Yeah. This scene just messed with me. Like, she clearly was up to par. You guys would be fucking. Well, I didn't say fucking at that time. You guys would be fucking alive if it wasn't for her. And yet, you guys are like, oh shit, she's a woman. Oh my god, no.
except for her 3 friends.
They were quiet, but
They were quiet, but they were like, yo, don't kill her.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, there was a amount of respect there already.
Don't
even
touch
though
her
she wasn't
brother,
a guy.
sister,
Roaster.
brother, friend.
Yeah.
Friend. Female friend.
Mm.
And then
Completely
go
plutonic.
through the arc of like, you still save the day no matter what you did, and you can still go home with the amount of pride, and you're like, alright, let's get it ready to go home, and then they see the Huns pop up, they're like, we can't go home just yet.
No, they don't see the Huns. We saw them.
No, I remember...
Oh, Mulan saw them. Yeah.
Either
My bad,
Mulan
my
or
bad.
Mushu saw them.
Yeah, and then
God,
Yeah,
I
they
love
do.
the Huns so much. They get avalanche and just start popping out like fucking the fucking walkers.
Sheer determination to prove a fucking point.
Too angry to die.
Yeah.
Angry to die.
Yeah, they're like, okay, I'm done. Let's do stealth mode now.
Again, as a kid, it didn't register to me. Like, oh shit, they made it out. Nah, the rest of them are dead.
there's like just
They're
4
buried.
of them.
But it was they're still outnumbered technically. But yeah, Mulan was able to take out a few hundred, I think.
1,000.
Thousands, I don't know.
Maybe 100, maybe 100.
Enough to
I,
scale the
I
Great Wall,
don't think
definitely.
you can really comprehend what 1,000 would look like as from that kind of a crowd. It was probably hundreds, but yeah.
Basta, it's mostly just Shang's group
Yeah.
versus the rest of the Huns.
Yeah.
993, maybe.
They're just visibly, obviously outnumbered.
What we're trying to say is Mulan is a mass murderer and we love her.
Yeah.
We love her for it.
And we love her so much.
And, you know, there's a meme where like Snow White is like lying in her coffin, and all the princesses look like they're crying, and then there's Mulan like this, like, bitch, really? You die from a fucking apple? I saved China.
I said China, bitch.
Mulan no care. Wala lang.
That's true though.
She could have easily gone home, but she didn't. She was trying to warn them.
She didn't bring dishonor to her cow.
Yeah, she didn't bring dishonor to her.
I love how much of a famous line "dishonor on your cow" is. It's been a catchphrase of Ina since I met her, and there were actually no cows involved in this movie.
It was just so
He called the
great.
horse the cow.
No, a sheep.
He even said down,
The
Bessie.
horse.
No, he called the horse the cow, and then when they're confessing, like, where
The
are you?
horse!
sheep?"
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but like... No.
Ah, yeah. Because the cricket said he's not lucky.
You're not lucky. We're all frauds. But you're
What's
not
next?
lucky.
You're a sheep?
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the crowd, the Huns kidnap the Emperor, and then Shan Yu just really wants him to take a knee. You're like, well, okay, that's clear motivation. I buy it. Why not?
Dude, the Emperor had such... Like, his quotes are so... good.
I
No
fucking
matter how loud the wind blows, the mountain does not bow.
Yeah, right? Oh!
It's either
Oh!
blows or... Yeah.
But bitch, I'm water. You're about to turn into sand.
Yeah, and then you will kneel in pieces. Like, ah!
Oh yeah, there's a shit ton of good quotes in this one.
And first it's like, Mama mo, kneel in pieces.
Oh, basically.
I'm ending in pieces. Ano mo, Jepoy Diesel?
He gave me such like Master Oogway vibes.
Yeah,
I
for
know
sure.
that this is way before Master Oogway, but like I loved like Chinese emperors from our childhood cartoons. They were great. They were so great. Even the ones with the fucking multiple Siamese cats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Makes it all
All
more,
of them were super chill, dude.
makes it more special he
Is that Sagwa?
yeah.
Yes.
Sagwa.
Makes it
Sagwa.
special that he was voiced by Mr. Miyagi's actor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Pat Morita.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pat
yeah.
Morita.
And then
And he looked like Mr. Miyagi a bit because of the mustache, the beard.
Oh yeah. Mine is being Japanese.
and then
He's Asian.
sure. And Shan and Mulan come to the rescue, and San Yu is like to Shang, like, this is all your fault. I'm gonna fucking kill you. And Mulan's
Before
like,
we get into this, though, can we just please have it in our heads for us and everyone who watched this? Shang did not get mad at Mulan because she turned out to be a woman. Shang was just disappointed because she thought he found the man of his dreams.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Just to be disappointed that he realized he was straight the whole time. This is not proven to be fact by Disney. But I'd like for us here to believe that he was just disappointed he wasn't gay.
It's the exact same quote from White Chicks. You're not. No, I'm not a.
Why?
The deception.
That's exactly what that is. It's exactly the scene from White Chicks. But we're not going to continue the line from White Chicks because I don't know if that line can get us in trouble.
It will
But
get
like-
us in trouble.
Speaking of like, yun nga, yung voice actor of Shang, si BD Wong, he actually said that Li Shang is sexually fluid.
Hey,
That's hot.
that's
alright.
that.
Right? So technically, he's one of our first queer king.
Oh,
Queer
shit.
captain. But yeah,
Yeah.
BD Wong.
yeah, Jurassic
Yeah.
Park guy.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I love Professor Strange.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then Mulan's like, it's me, and he's like, the soldier from the mountains. And like, as a kid, my poor brain's like, see, it is the hair. My poor brain.
And just trying to defend that thought in his head.
No,
It's
no.
taboo.
Dude, you said this so many times, and every time you say it, I'm just like, fuck.
I know.
It's like every time Boyle said, yippee kayak, other buckets.
No,
Yeah.
Boyle, that's not the quote.
And then,
This-
I,
You know
I am sad though Shang didn't try to cross-dress the way sila Chenpo and the rest did.
right?
I am so sad.
I only go
No,
so
no,
far on
nah.
this.
I would say it's the looks. The looks have given it away. It's the looks he gave Ping.
The
Yeah.
look of
Damn.
it was
You-
this look for me.
Yeah. You climbed that pole pretty good.
But yeah, Mulan's being chased by Shan Yu, and she tells Mushu to distract the guards on the other tower to get some fireworks.
Just imagine being chased by a mountain of a man who could move like that. And he's cutting down pillars with a sword.
Seb's just like me.
Bet I could do it.
Like, just imagine being chased by a mountain of a man who can move like that, and just like, I already know.
I already know, Joe.
You see Enzo in like
I
a
don't
Chinese dress running away from him.
I don't have to imagine it.
And then we see Mushu distract the guards, and he's like, I'm vengeance. And he's so
Vengeance.
scared.
Oh yeah, dude, that was so even creaky.
They're so scared they choose death over like, alright, we'll hand you the fireworks. Like,
I need
fuckers.
firepower.
Mushu straight
Who
up
are you?
murdered, made 2 people commit suicide.
Right?
Not his fault. Indirectly killed. Batman doesn't kill.
I'm vengeance.
I'm not gonna kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Splat! Oh, fuck. I didn't expect that. Okay.
Oh god.
No,
I
but
didn't-
you know, like another thing that I like about this is, like the missiles are a thing,
Yeah.
but I like that there's like slight emphasis on the fact that the Chinese were the first ones to really fuck with gunpowder.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So that's a cool little nod to history there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then-
Go lang,
Go
Enzo.
ahead.
No, go lang. I'll say my bit later.
I was about to say she traps his sword with her fan. Like,
Yeah!
Which is an
I was
actual
gonna
thing,
mention
by
that.
the way. That is actually possible.
She what's her sword?
She pins the sword with her fan to grab his sword.
Yeah, and then
Ah.
disarms him. Which
Yeah.
is an
I was
actual
gonna say that it was such a nice way to bring back the fact that, fans are dominantly a female
weapon.
thing. Well, not even a weapon, like you just assume it's a it's how they flirt.
Combat. Get time.
Yeah, it's like how they flirt, it's how they hide their emotions, they did that whole thingy. And then the fact that, you use the very feminine thing, and that's the very thing you use to outwit a Hun.
Mm-hmm.
Alas, the fan is mightier than the sword.
yes.
Yeah, the fan. Oh, I love that. Like, it's just. Mulan is a very gender fluid show. I love it. You get cross dressers.
And then we see probably one of the most violent deaths in all of this thing. One of course, not the most violent deaths.
I would say,
Right?
yeah, he gets blown
Blown
up.
up.
But I would say, Syndrome's death is way more gruesome.
I would say Clayton's death's more graphic though.
That should be for another podcast. Disney and,
Just, yeah,
We gotta do it. We gotta do a review of Tarzan.
Why is no one pointing out Scar?
We'll talk about this. No.
that is pretty graphic too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should totally make this another.
Top 10 graphic Disney deaths.
Yeah.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com.
Welcome to Geeks and Degenerates, and today we're counting the most gruesome or murderous intent.
Violent Disney deaths.
Mulan. There's too many to mention. Here, honorable mentions.
On number 1.
Half of
On
the
number
army.
2.
Han number 993.
Now moving on to the main characters.
But yeah, she meets with the Emperor and he's like, you took your father's armor, infiltrated the army, destroyed my palace, and most importantly, you saved China. So good.
I love how the assistant was like, I'm so ready to see your ass get dragged. Say, what now?
Tapos an execution on this day. What?
And then the whole, I wanted to have a seat in my office. Oh, sir, I'm sorry, Emperor, there are no openings. Oh, you can have his job.
That was satisfying.
Emperor gave no fucks.
And then Shang's just like, you fight good. And that's
Natorot pa si Captain.
To the point that the Emperor had to fucking tell him.
Chang's just like, I like how you penetrate enemy lines.
And I penetrate yours, eh? Okay.
I mean, I more have thought Shang was gonna say, I got an enemy line you could penetrate. And it's Shang saying it.
I honestly feel like Shang, he's just one of those guys who just awkwardly, like, he was focusing on being a warrior all this time.
Never
That
into
he-
sexuality.
Yeah, like, I had that feeling when the Emperor was like, the flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all. Sir, you don't meet a girl like that
Like
every
that
dynasty.
She didn't skip a beat on that quote, fuck.
Yeah. He was so like, tangin na naman siya eh.
That's so like verbatim. Like, yep, she remembers every part of that.
Yeah. No, for sure, Shang's a bot here. This relationship.
Actually, they made him such a bottom in Mulan 2.
Yeah.
He was such a butt of the joke in Mulan 2. Like that. It's like I kind of wish that didn't exist. But anyways, I mean,
played too many video games to assume that bot meant bottom. So I was like, so he's just really bad at fighting.
oh no, sorry.
No. John Mar said bot. That was like I completely was like thinking bottom lane or like bot is not a real player. I was like, oh right, I'm an idiot.
Then again, well, Mulan 2 is a totally different movie on its own, but it does mess with Shang.
Oh yeah, it really undermines his character.
It undermines Shang's character a lot, so we'll just focus on the first one.
Yeah.
It's a straight to DVD kind of movie. So.
Yeah.
But she goes back to her father, and he's like, "It doesn't matter. You may have the sword and the helmet from the Emperor and Shan Yu, but what really is the greatest honor is having you for a daughter." That's the really, heart-touching moment. And
Which was very satisfying, because it was really hard, it really broke my heart to see her, hear from her dad that she brought this honor in the first parts of the movie. When she, you can tell they clearly have a very loving father-daughter relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, and then that scene where the last flower bloomed.
She found herself. She finally found herself in the mirror.
I'm just like the conversation that must have occurred between Mulan and her father. He's like, "How dare you go to? I can totally go to. I'm completely capable of going. You're putting dishonor on our family. I'm physically able to go to walk." And he's not even walking properly and shit.
He was practicing with his sword, tripping on himself. Man, you ain't ready.
Yeah, man, you can't even get your Shicho down.
Yeah. He didn't see the 50 other takes.
No, you just hear the father. Shit!
Fuck my life! Shit! Shit!
But you see Shang come to her house, and she's like, "Hey, you want to stay for dinner?" Grandma's like, "Hey,
Would you like to stay forever?
God, I wish parental units were that accepting.
And then Mushu's like, "So, ancestors, I did good, huh? Huh?"
Oh, not gonna lie, he did do good. He was the one who murked the head, leader.
Yeah, but the ancestors don't want to acknowledge it, like, yeah, you did good.
Yeah, fuck you, go celebrate. Fuck.
And that's the end of the movie. What would you rate the movie ultimately?
Shit. I don't know what's up with, 90s Disney movies and, casting, not casting, having fire soundtracks, we had Phil Collins with Tarzan, and now we have Stevie Wonder with this one.
We had Lea Salonga, too.
That's something I wanted to point out.
Christina Aguilera, too.
Oh.
Leia, for all of my problems
In the
with
credits.
Leia, she is one of the best theatrical singers in history.
Yeah, she's also the singing voice of Jasmine
Yes.
in Aladdin.
And she's still the best Eponine in history. So
Yeah.
no one will ever measure up to that.
Can't discredit her, musical
She's one of the best of all time.
theatrical.
And to this day, people of her batch of singers can no longer sing at the level she does. If you watch that reunion of all of the original Disney singers, she's the only one who can still do her shit at the same level.
I saw that bit.
Lea Salonga is a fucking singing powerhouse. She's one of the best of all time, and it's amazing that she was in this movie. I just love that this woman has left her mark on this industry. And I don't ever want that shit to be disregarded because she's a fucking vocal goat.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, it's great. The ratings, forgot about it. For me, I would give this one an 8.5 out of 10. The story was there. It's about war, for fuck's sake. You don't get that a lot with, Disney movies. It's always, oh, princess trying to meet her prince. Nah. it's the prince here who met the princess. Like,
Ah.
fuck, he's the one who fell in love with her. And I gave us an amazing soundtrack as well. Yeah, I can't find any faults in this movie all that much. Like, yeah, it's an 8.5 out of 10 for me.
I'll give this a 9. Like, I know a lot of, other people are like, this is like the silver age of Disney after the golden age of Aladdin, Lion King. But for me, this is also good. Like, I can't find any faults in this. And the soundtrack is not always also fun, but like, it has filled our karaoke nights with such fun. So I will always love it for that. But yeah, 9 out of 10. It's one of the best Disney animated movies out there, and definitely better than the God Forsaken 2020 version.
We don't
Yeah.
talk about that. Good.
All that's missing from that karaoke session is one of us doing a push-up while singing it.
One of these days.
One of these days. Yeah. How about you guys?
Well, cause I mean, this movie has a lot of sentimental value for me. That's partly why I'm giving this a 10.
Hey.
It's also because it's like I can argue that, say, in terms of soundtrack, you also have Hercules. Most Disney movies have pretty bangers, but there's just something about Mulan that ako personally, I can't stop watching. It never gets tiring. Like I really like the story. I really liked how, I guess, the gradualness of how the characters learn to accept Mulan. I mean, yeah, ano pa ba? I like how each of them kahit paano got their own sense of pride in all of this. I don't know. It just gave me that push of girl power that I didn't know I needed when I was four or five. When I watched this. Correction at the start of the video, I was 5 when I watched this. If Seb was 4, I was 5. Watching it. So yeah, my little 5-year-old Ina was like, oh man, she makes me feel like I can do anything. She was the Elsa of my time.
Hey.
Which is why I give her a 10. Because she, brought about a generation of girls who weren't just into like dresses and stuff. Yeah. And Mushu. Like
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
How about you, Seth?
There's no objective reason to not give this movie a 10.
Judy O'Hara must be Judy O'Hara. Love
To be
that
honest,
song.
when I saw that music video, I didn't think he was blind.
There is no objective reason to not give this movie a 10.
Maybe shall
Because
my
from
life-
comedic timing to transitions from one kind of mood to another, the narrative pacing, animation, representation in both Asian culture and in both like the female spectrum of things. This movie did it all correctly. It's enjoyable. The music is, perfect fucking bangers. There's nothing wrong with how they did the music. There's nothing wrong with how they did the story. The animation is 90s Disney. With 90s Disney animation. So like anything less than a 10 given to this movie, I don't completely get where it comes from. And this was like, to me, one of the last times this company was able to really nail what it was like to be, I think, a woman. I'm not a woman, but I've been surrounded by strong women my entire life. And I've always perceived as very strong creatures. And this was one of my first bouts with experiencing what it was like to have a protagonist in a movie, and this is one where it's unapologetically so. Like, kind of caveats, oftentimes in female-led movies, where like there's certain pullbacks to a woman's strength and capabilities, and there was none of that here. This has defined an entire generation of women. This has defined an entire generation of Asians, and explored in terms of the patriarchy, in terms of the complications of Asian family the complications of how Asians perceive women. Like, everything was addressed, not to a distasteful degree and not to an inaccurate degree. There's nothing wrong with this movie.
Yes.
So, I can't give it anything less than a 10. Anything like what anyone says, like sentiment can go out the door, nostalgia can go out the door. This movie holds up even without any of those things.
Alright, so that has been our video on Mulan. We still have one more video to do regarding this whole Asian centric theme we're doing, and that's also Disney. That also has a strong female character, so just wait for that. But for now, you can find us at facebook.com/geeks and degenerates. We react to trailers, we stream video games every now and then. Individually, you can find me at Yandalfus1995 on Instagram or Twitter. How about you guys?
Oh, you can find me at JomGOM on Instagram. It is my own. Sorry, that's.
Well, me and Seb, you can find us at facebook.com/slurpmedia. You can find me at Instagram at katmanan, Twitter katgmanan, or if you want to check out my art page, I have at nekomanan. If you want to check out Seb, he is Seb the Harmacist on all the things.
Apparently on Twitter, I'm Seb8.
Oh, at Seb Puku. My bad. He is Seb Puku on Twitter.
But yeah, please.
Yeah, we do lots of collabs with these guys.
Yeah, I'm prepared to see more. Oh, more of them. Sorry.
Of course.
Yeah.
But for now, please continue to stay safe, wear masks, social distance, and get vaccinated, and get your booster for fuck's sake. That's all the time we have, folks. We'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.